Your doctor tells you it's heart healthy. The label says it's cholesterol free. And the American Heart Association might even have their check mark of approval right on the box. But inside your body, a silent disaster is unfolding that is quite literally turning your liver into a bag of fat. Most people are worried about their heart, yet they are completely oblivious to the fact that you cannot have a healthy heart if your liver is swimming in oil and riddled with inflammation. Today, I'm going to reveal the 3 most dangerous health foods that are marketed as the gold standard for cardiac care, but are actually the primary drivers of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and insulin resistance. If you value your longevity, you cannot afford to look away from what's sitting in your pantry right now. Right now, I want you to type the word liver in the comments section below to signal to your brain that you are taking control of your metabolic health today. Hit that like button immediately so we can get this life-saving information to more people who are being misled by big food marketing, and make sure you are subscribed to the Metabolic Health Lab, because what I am about to show you is the difference between a high-functioning metabolism and a lifetime of chronic illness. Join the thousands of us here who are refusing to be victims of outdated nutritional dogma. You've been told for decades that saturated fat is the enemy and that vegetable oils are the solution. This is perhaps the greatest health lie ever sold to the public. We are talking about seed oils, soybean oil, corn oil, cottonseed oil, and canola oil. These are found in almost every heart-healthy salad dressing, margarine, and even those vegan spreads you think are better for you. The marketing says they lower your LDL cholesterol, and while they might technically change a blood marker, they do it at a devastating cost to your liver. These oils are loaded with linoleic acid and omega-6 fatty acid that is highly unstable. When these oils are processed, they are heated to extreme temperatures, treated with chemical solvents like hexane, and then deodorized because they would otherwise smell rancid. By the time they reach your kitchen, they are already oxidized. When you consume these, they integrate into your cell membranes and stay there for years. Your liver has to process these oxidized fats, leading to massive oxidative stress. It's like pouring liquid rust into your metabolic engine. But it gets worse. This inflammation triggers a signal in the liver to start storing fat. This is why you can be skinny on the outside, but have a liver that looks like a piece of foie gras on the inside. Most people think fatty liver only comes from alcohol, but these heart-healthy oils are doing the exact same damage without the hangover. Now you might think, okay, I'll just switch to a low-fat diet. But that brings us to the second and perhaps most insidious silent killer: commercial fruit juices and healthy smoothies. You see them in the health aisle, often labeled as heart healthy because they contain potassium or are fat-free. But here's the metabolic reality. Your liver handles fructose, the sugar in fruit, in a very specific and dangerous way. Unlike glucose, which every cell in your body can use for energy, fructose can only be processed by the liver. When you drink a large glass of orange juice or a bottled green smoothie that is actually 80% apple juice base, you are slamming your liver with a massive bolus of fructose all at once. Think of your liver like a suitcase. If you try to jam too many clothes in at once, the zipper breaks. When the liver is overwhelmed by fructose, it has no choice but to convert that sugar into palmitic acid through a process called de novo lipogenesis. In plain English, your liver turns that healthy juice into fat instantly. This fat doesn't just sit there, it creates insulin resistance right in the liver. Once your liver is insulin resistant, your pancreas has to pump out even more insulin to compensate. High insulin is the master hormone for fat storage. It shuts down your ability to burn fat for fuel. So while you think you're helping your heart with a fat-free juice, you are actually spiking the very hormone that ensures you stay inflamed and overweight. And here's the part nobody talks about. Fructose creates a byproduct called uric acid. High uric acid leads to gout, yes, but it also inhibits nitric oxide in your blood vessels. Nitric oxide is what allows your arteries to relax and keep your blood pressure down. So by drinking the heart-healthy juice to avoid fat, you are actually increasing your blood pressure and stiffening your arteries via the liver fructose pathway. It's a complete metabolic trap. If you've been a regular juice drinker thinking it was a health move, hit that like button. It's time we stop the misinformation and start healing the liver first. Now, we have to talk about the third food, and this one is the most controversial because it is the poster child of heart health. Whole grain, heart-healthy cereals and breads. You know the ones. They have the heart logo, they brag about fiber, and they tell you that whole grains are essential for lowering cholesterol. But let's look under the hood. Most whole grain products are still highly processed flours. They have a glycemic index that is often higher than a candy bar. When you eat these grains, they break down into glucose rapidly. This causes a massive spike in blood sugar, followed by a massive spike in insulin. But wait, there's a hidden liver kicker here. These grains are often sprayed heavily with glyphosate, a potent herbicide. Research is beginning to show that glyphosate can disrupt the delicate balance of your gut microbiome and put an immense detox load on your liver. Furthermore, these grains contain phytic acid, which binds to minerals like zinc and magnesium. Your liver requires zinc and magnesium to function and to detoxify pollutants. By eating these heart-healthy grains, you are not only spiking the fat storage hormone insulin, but you are also stripping your liver of the very nutrients it needs to protect itself. This leads to a vicious cycle. The liver gets fatty from the high insulin levels caused by the grains, and then it can't repair itself because the grains have depleted its mineral stores. It's a double whammy that most doctors never mention. They are so focused on your LDL cholesterol levels that they ignore the fact that your triglycerides are skyrocketing, and high triglycerides are a direct reflection of a fatty liver. If you want to see more simple metabolic fixes like this to get your health back on track, make sure you're subscribed and have the bell icon turned on. We are diving deep into the stuff that mainstream medicine ignores. So what happens if you don't stop? What is the end game for a fatty liver? Most people think it just stays as fatty liver, but it progresses to something called NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, which is basically an inflamed, scarred liver. From there, it goes to cirrhosis. You do not want to reach that point. The liver is the primary filter of your body. It manages over 500 different functions, including hormone balance, bile production for digestion, and blood sugar regulation. When your liver is clogged with fat from seed oils, fruit juices, and processed grains, your whole body starts to fail. Your skin gets itchy, your eyes get a yellowish tint, you get brain fog because toxins aren't being filtered, and you feel exhausted all the time. The good news is that the liver is one of the most resilient organs in the human body. It has an incredible capacity to regenerate, but you have to stop the assault. You have to stop believing the heart-healthy labels and start looking at what these foods do to your insulin levels. The key to a healthy heart isn't found in a box of low-fat cereal. It's found in a healthy, lean, functioning liver. To start the reversal process, you need to pivot your diet toward things that support liver bile and glutathione production. This means cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, and radishes. These contain phytonutrients that help the liver phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification pathways. You also need healthy, stable fats like extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and butter from grass-fed cows. These don't oxidize like seed oils, and they don't trigger the same massive insulin response. But here's the most important secret to reversing a fatty liver: intermittent fasting. When you stop eating for a period of 16 to 18 hours, you give your insulin levels a chance to drop to a baseline. When insulin is low, the body finally gets the signal to start burning stored fat for energy. And where do you think it looks first? It looks at the fat stored in the liver. Fasting is like a deep clean for your liver. It allows the organ to finally catch up on its to-do list of filtering and repairing rather than constantly dealing with the next incoming heart-healthy snack. What happens next is the part nobody talks about. As your liver clears out, your cholesterol profile actually improves naturally. Your good HDL goes up, and your dangerous, small, dense LDL particles, the ones that actually cause heart disease, go down. By focusing on the liver, you achieve the heart health you were promised by those marketing campaigns, but you do it for real this time. I want you to think about your daily routine. How many times a day are you accidentally poisoning your liver because you think you're doing something good for your heart? Is there a bottle of canola oil in your cabinet? Is there a healthy juice in your fridge? Is there a box of heart-healthy cereal on your counter? If you're ready to make a change, I want you to comment the word change below. It's a simple commitment, but it's the first step toward a totally different metabolic future. We've been conditioned to look for a pill for every ill, but the liver doesn't need a pill. It needs a break. It needs the right nutrients. It needs you to stop falling for the marketing traps set by companies that prioritize their profit over your pathology. Your metabolic health is your most valuable asset. Without it, you can't show up for your family, you can't enjoy your hobbies, and you certainly can't live the long, vibrant life you deserve. Remember, the heart and the liver are connected in a profound metabolic dance. When the liver is healthy, the blood is clean, the inflammation is low, and the heart doesn't have to work nearly as hard. But when the liver is stagnant and fatty, the heart is under constant pressure. If you found this information eye-opening, please hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this content is valuable, helping us fight back against the flood of heart-healthy misinformation that is making the world sicker. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next 7 days, I want you to remove those 3 specific killers from your diet. No seed oils, no fruit juices, and no processed heart-healthy grains. Replace them with whole, single-ingredient foods. Focus on high-quality proteins, healthy fats, and plenty of leafy greens. Observe how your energy levels change. Notice if that afternoon slump disappears. Watch what happens to your waistline, because that belly fat is often just an external reflection of the fat inside your liver. This isn't just about weight loss. It's about metabolic integrity. It's about ensuring that as you age, you remain sharp, energetic, and free from the chronic diseases that are currently reaching epidemic proportions. You have the power to change your biology. Your DNA is not your destiny, your dinner is. Thank you for being part of the Metabolic Health Lab community. Your engagement, every comment, every like, and every share helps us build a movement of people who are taking their health back into their own hands. If you haven't yet, subscribe right now and join us. We have a lot more to cover, from the hidden signs of insulin resistance to the best ways to optimize your hormones after 40. Go ahead and type metabolics in the comments one last time if you're staying committed to this journey. I'll be looking through the comments to see your progress and answer your questions. Your liver has been working hard for you since the day you were born. Isn't it time you started working for it? Let's get to work on that liver. Let's get that heart truly healthy, and let's transform your metabolism starting today. I'll see you in the next video.